Toyota's Grand Highlander has had a heck of a year. Not in the best way. It's been on stop sale for much of the year due to an airbag recall that put, potentially the health and livelihood of its passengers in danger. They got that fixed. Production has started. And one of my sources has said they're building Wednesdays and Thursdays right now. End of November, they're starting on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays, so adding an additional day. December, they're going back to 5 days a week. So it's a very quick ramp up. And all the retro fixes are hoping to be done by Thanksgiving. What does that mean? Well, they've had plenty of Grand Highlanders and Lexus TXs at that West Indiana plant sitting there waiting for the fix before they can be sold. So those will be done by the end of this month. And then production should be guns blazing 5 days a week by sometime early December. So production's getting started back up. Toyota absolutely needs it. Their global production has been down for the last 6 months, and you could say largely because of the lack of the production out of the Indiana West plant. There's other issues overseas with Daihatsu and Hino, but when it comes to Toyota brand and the Lexus brand, the lack of the Grand Highlander and the TX has really put a dent in their profitability. Not for long, because the 2025 Grand Highlander is here, and we have pricing, we have details, we have updates. It has gotten a little bit more affordable to get your feet wet into the Grand Highlander, but it's not as simple as just let's celebrate that it's cheaper. It's going to be decontented. We'll talk about the powertrain you're going to get on the lower grades as well. Guys, if you're new to the channel, my name's Kirk. I come up with industry auto news for you guys as often as I possibly can. I'm trying to squeeze this video in. I'm literally leaving to the airport in about an hour and 20 minutes to go to LA to preview for you guys some spicy products coming out of the Honda camp. All right, so stay tuned for that. You won't have to wait for long. I also have a Mazda CX-50 hybrid driving impressions going live in a week from today. All right, also stay to the end. I got this to talk about. We'll talk about Toyota's upcoming sports car lineup and how this is a preview. This GR86 Rally Edition. All right, we have a Hybrid Nightshade Edition adding additional flair to the 2025 Grand Highlander lineup. I'll be playing some of that B-roll for you guys with black exterior accents, black wheels, JBL sound system as standard. The more exciting thing for most of you guys is going to be the addition of a more affordable LE grade, which has 2 bench seats. Okay, so you have a bench seat in the middle, bench seat in the rear. So you have the seating for 8, like the Sienna offers seating for 8. And it has 3-zone climate control, and it comes standard with the 12-inch touchscreen, which is standard already throughout the lineup. Also, cement that we see on that Nightshade Edition is a new color for 2025. It's available on the Hybrid, Max, Limited, and Platinum models, but I believe it's also on that Nightshade. Okay, speaking of that Nightshade model, it's hybrid only, not the Hybrid Max, a standard hybrid that gets you around 35 miles per gallon. Has leather seats, heated and ventilated front and passenger seat. You also have the heated outboard seats in the second row. So this is pretty well equipped. Of course, it has a 12-inch touchscreen, but also has a 12-inch digital gauge cluster. It has ambient lighting. It has a leather trimmed steering wheel. But let's get into the more exciting, the more affordable LE grade. When the Grand Highlander launched, last year, it was XLE only for the starting grade. Now we're getting the LE grade, the new base model. And you can get the hybrid with it, but it comes standard with all-wheel drive, and that drives up the price an additional $1,600, which I'm not happy about. And we're going to get into the spreadsheet here in a little bit to talk about the pricing because, yeah, of course it's gone up. The LE can also come with a 2.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with front or all-wheel drive. So the LE Turbo can come with front-wheel drive, but they drive up the cost by forcing you to get all-wheel drive on the Hybrid LE, which I'm not happy about. Anyways, I'm going to beat a dead horse on that for a long time. Also, I'm questioning the LE's functionality a bit. Yes, it has a second row bench seat, but it folds down 60-40 instead of 40-20-40. So you're going to have, like, for me with child seats, that sounds like it would be difficult to work with this setup because you can't fold down the middle seat. I would have to really test it. So if you guys would like to see me test out the new Grand Highlander's LE grade, let me know, because I've been working with the local dealer. I should be getting a Crown Signia soon from my local dealer to test for you guys. So if you guys want to see me test out this LE Grand Highlander and how it works with a family of 7 for me, I have 5 little ones, let me know, because I'm really curious to see how functional this 60/40 second row seats really is. The base grade also still has a power lift gate. You have heated power outside mirrors and blind spot warning. Thankfully, that is standard here. Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, of course. Now, to recap the powertrains, nothing has changed on them. No modifications. The base powertrain, the turbo 4-cylinder 2.4 liter, 265 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 7.5 seconds. The hybrid powertrain, which is my favorite on this, 0 to 60 in 7.8 seconds. So just a hair shy here, but it gets, okay, so let's say you get 23 miles per gallon. Well, here it is. It says 24 miles per gallon front wheel drive. So you get 24 miles per gallon on the turbo, and you get 36 miles per gallon on the hybrid, and it's roughly the same speed. It's a hard powertrain to pass up. In my opinion, the turbo should be reserved for the turbo hybrid, and just make all the other trims that are not the turbo hybrid the standard hybrid. And I'll talk more about that, I guess, here in a little bit. But Grand Highlander also on the top end has the Hybrid Max powertrain with 362 horsepower, 400 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 6.3 seconds. It's a great powertrain. It is a heavy powertrain, however, with a large e-axle in the back. It's got a really chunky nickel metal hydride battery. So it is, and then you also add the turbo and the cooling of the turbo. So it's a heavier powertrain, but it is still a quick powertrain. And it is still an efficient. I want to say I'm able to get close to 30 miles per gallon. What does it rate it? It rates it at 27 miles per gallon. But in my testing, I can get a little bit better in flat, warm Florida. I mean, if we look at the fuel tank size, 17.8, and you multiply that by 35 miles per gallon, it's a range of 623 miles on the standard hybrid. Not too shabby. Also, a new color for 2025 is heavy metal. In the pictures of the Nightshade model, that could be heavy metal instead of the cement color. They kind of look the same in dark settings. Heavy metal is definitely a darker color though. All right, so let's hop into the pricing here. New LE and LE all-wheel drive models. Before we get into breaking this down, keep in mind that DHP has gone up $55 compared to last year. So that is non-negotiable. I have not added it into the pricing here, but I have added it into the difference. So keep that in mind. I've added an additional $55 in difference here from 25 to 24 because of DHP. All-wheel drive premium has stayed the same at $1,600. So LE front-wheel drive, LE all-wheel drive. Here's where I have a big issue. The hybrid, to me, personally, is a smoother, more efficient, and a more desirable powertrain than the turbo. But look how much more it costs right here compared to the LE front wheel drive and the LE all wheel drive. And so when you're spending that much money on an LE hybrid, just spend $1,100 more and get the XLE front wheel drive. Unless you need to have all wheel drive, then it's going to be quite a bit. It's going to be what, $2,700 more. I'd much rather have the XLE front wheel drive than the LE all wheel drive here. For $1,100 difference. So this is the trim level I would be picking out of all of them. If you're someone that needs to have a lot of power, then you can look at the Hybrid Max models. But the XLE front wheel drive hybrid is the pick of the litter, in my opinion. Because the LE hybrid should come in front wheel drive. That would reduce the cost an additional $1,600, which would get it down to $42,610, which at that point it only comes, in theory, a front wheel drive hybrid LE would only come in $150 more than an LE turbo all wheel drive. To me, that would be a no-brainer. They didn't want to give you guys that option. That just doesn't make sense to me. And I'm going to rant on this because you come out with a base hybrid powertrain, but force you to get all-wheel drive, which is a more expensive option. And then it gets really close to the XLE front-wheel drive pricing. To me, just leave the hybrid out of the LE completely because you're forcing people to spend more money to get the all-wheel drive. LE people are people who want the best price, the lowest price, and maybe the most fuel economy focused as well. And they're saying, okay, we'll get you. And you're going to have to pay for all-wheel drive, though. It just doesn't make sense. This is not a limited. This is not a high-end limited or a platinum grade here, which, by the way, the platinum is not available on the hybrid either, which is kind of a miss. They're making the LE like a premium grade here by forcing you to get all-wheel drive. It just doesn't make sense to me, and that's my frustration. I'm done with it. Skip the LE hybrid all-wheel drive. If bargain basement price is all you care about, just get the LE front-wheel drive. All-wheel drive is overrated in these. Unless you have mountains and hills and you're going off the beaten path. Otherwise, front-wheel drive is going to be perfectly fine for the average person and give you better fuel economy as well and be more affordable. All right, now that that's done, let's look at the pricing differences per grade here. Well, it's gone up anywhere from $555 all the way up to $765. And guess where they charge the most? It's on the hybrids. Go figure. The most desirable Grand Highlanders, they're overcharging the most year over year. So we have $765 gains on the hybrid XLE models, $705 gains on the hybrid limited, as well as the hybrid max models. So otherwise, you're going to be still paying $500 to $600 additional on the gas models, whether it's front wheel drive or all wheel drive. So I'll see you guys down in the comments on the 25 Grand Highlander. It's back on the market. The demand for it's going to be through the roof. Toyota's going to have no problem commanding these $500 to $700 price increases. I just have the big qualm with the LE forcing you to get all wheel drive on the hybrid. Like I've said 100 times at this point. Something I'm really excited about. I've been picking apart Toyota's decisions at SEMA to come out with the Land Cruiser Rocks concept, which is an homage and hopefully a precursor to the return of the Land Cruiser FJ or the FJ Cruiser. So hopefully that's going to come. We've seen teasers recently for the Celica and the MR2. This right here is a straight homage to the old Celica GT4s in the past, in the 90s. And look at this thing. They've given it the all-wheel drive, the GR4 system from the GR Corolla. And by the way, they've also put in the 3-cylinder turbocharged 1.6 liter from the GR Corolla as well. Now, as I'm reading through here, I don't actually see what kind of transmission it has. So that's a bit disappointing. But it seems like they've gutted and modified a GR86 that's built. Remember, it's built by Subaru, and they've put complete Toyota underpinnings and engine, probably transmission, probably 6-speed manual would be my guess, as well as a GR4 all-wheel drive. So, yeah, this thing is insane. I love the lights here. I love the Sparco accessories, that amazing spare tire. You got the roll cage in there. There's the engine that we see in the GR Corolla. It's just, it's pretty incredible. And it gets me excited for what's coming down the hatch with the return of the Celica, more than likely, and the return of the MR2, more than likely. This is a huge tease and hopefully a huge precursor of what's to come, just like I have high hopes for the return of the Land Cruiser FJ or the FJ Cruiser. So I'm going to end it there. I'll see you guys when I get back from LA for giving you guys some sneak peeks into some upcoming Honda products. Thank you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.